Today I have a video for you guys that a lot of people have been wondering about. Everybody's wondering, what is the best smartphone that I should buy right now? Should I buy a Galaxy S2? Should I buy an iPhone 4S? Should I buy a Windows device like the Lumia 800 or HTC Titan? Should I buy a Galaxy Nexus? And there's just lots of commotion, but the top two devices I'd say that are compared most often are these two, the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy Nexus. Mainly because in the media's opinion, and in my opinion also, these are the two best smartphones on the market right now. You have an iPhone, which is an incredible device with lots of applications, lots of a very powerful ecosystem, and iPhone 4S is just a very good iPhone device, a very good iOS device. And then you have the Galaxy Nexus, which is sort of like the mature version of Android, and Google now has a lot of their own ecosystem. They have the movies that you can download, they have their own music service now, so there's been lots of just, everybody wants to know which device should I buy. So this video is dedicated to me answering that question for you. What is the best device? What device should you buy? An iPhone 4S or a Galaxy Nexus? Because Windows Phone is good, but I don't think it's really quite there yet. And I think these are the best two devices on the market right now. There's no one answer to this question. This is a question that has multiple answers depending on who you are and what you're planning to do with your phone. There's not like, this is just like a one size fits all sort of thing. So it's going to depend on what kind of person you are and what you plan on doing with your phone, whether you're into more photography or more web, or you know what I mean. So without any further ado, let's jump right in after the break. So we're back, and I'm not going to go through a lot of the details of there's a volume rocker here and talk about that, because if you want to, you can always just watch my Galaxy Nexus and iPhone 4S review, which you can do right now by clicking either here on the Galaxy Nexus for the Galaxy Nexus review, or here for the iPhone 4S review. Those annotations will also be up here for the rest of the video and in the description, as with lots of other stuff down there too. So I'm just going to talk about, the differences. So the Galaxy Nexus is a really solid device from the perspective that it offers all of Google's experiences. I'm talking about Gmail, I'm talking about YouTube, I'm talking about Google Calendar. All these sort of things are really well integrated. But the place that the iPhone has really excelled in the past was with apps. All the special applications you can get on the iPhone device that aren't available anywhere else. And now this is changing. A lot of these apps are now available on Android. Like we got Fruit Ninja here. We got Fruit Ninja. I got a folder. Got Fruit Ninja over here. Got Field Runners, We got Cordy, which is an Android exclusive. Got the Angry Birds games. We've got this Reckless Race. There's just lots of games now that are on Android. But sadly, they're not nearly as good. Here we have the Galaxy Nexus version, or Android, I should say, version of Fruit Ninja. And you can see, if you look at that, I don't know if it's coming across, but it does not even match the resolution of the screen. And I know they may update the resolution, but this is just like the kind of problem you have with Android. You have that kind of fragmentation where not everything always looks the best. This does not look fully matched to this device. Whereas on the iPhone, it looks crystal clear, perfectly optimized for the screen. So, just a little thing, overall I've found that most of my experiences have led that both devices have a lot of the games now, but most of the time the Apple version is better. Quite a bit better, with like Angry Birds 2. It's just smoother, better optimized, and just lots of things. And even apps that are not available on Android, you've always got those too. Like, you got things like Zombieville and Jetpack Joyride, which are not available over here. So despite Android improving a lot in its ecosystem, having a much better ecosystem than it did in the past, it is still not nearly as good, in my opinion, as what's available on the iPhone. Like, it's much better now. You've got things like Path, which is a really cool app that I use. It's sort of like Instagram. But you can tell it's optimized much better for the iPhone, with like the buttons being like up here in the corner where you have to press the menu button on Android. It's smoother I find it a little bit more smooth on the iPhone. Like when you're on Android and you tap, sometimes it takes a little bit too long. So even though, still more optimized over here. So despite Android catching up with the ecosystem, now having Google Music, now having the movie services for being able to watch films, still better on the iPhone. So if you're a real gamer, a real apps person, somebody who really cares about apps, really cares about doing a lot of gaming, the iPhone is still your best answer in my opinion. They still have a much better app selection than what's available on Android. Now, this may not be true for other, but still, in my opinion, it is better right now. So we'll now move on to the next little thing I'd say. And that is the difference between screen size and the size of the device in general. The Galaxy Nexus is a much larger device. As you can see, it is just much bigger with a 4.65-inch screen compared to the iPhone's 3.5-inch. Honestly, either device, like the Galaxy Nexus fits totally fine in my hand. In fact, I really like its curved sort of teardrop shape. I really like that. It's even thinner than the iPhone. So the Galaxy Nexus is a good fit for me. But if you're somebody who has a really small hand, I would always go to the store and check them out first, just to, confirm. So the next thing is, do you do a lot of web browsing on your device? Because for some people, web browsing is their main use of their mobile device. So we're just loading up The Verge here. And you can see we've loaded The Verge on both devices. And we'll just scroll there. And it looks very good on both. You see you get more information on the Galaxy Nexus. You get a full thing there and you don't on the iPhone. But iPhone, you can check out my browser comparison video, which I did. You can check it out in the description, or I may annotate right here. I find the Galaxy Nexus to be faster, but the iPhone to still be nice and smooth. So that's just like a whole nother bag of weeds. Both devices now do offer very good web browsers, so I wouldn't really worry about the web browser not being good on either device, because both of them are exceptional, as you can see. But there is that nice reader feature with the iPhone, which is something that is quite nice. So both devices are exceptional. Still think Android scrolling is ridiculously fast. Another big difference between the devices is the way they multitask. So on iPhone you have the double tap and you can scroll through at the bottom here. You got your controls over there. On the Galaxy Nexus you have this method, and I do much prefer this. This is all wasted space right now. You can't use this. I don't know why Apple wants this little thing at the bottom when they could just be utilizing the whole screen. I really like the way the Galaxy Nexus works in terms of being able to quickly switch over here to the music app, and then I can switch back to the browser. I just wish that if you swiped an app away, it would delete it. It would close it, force close it, because sometimes I'll have an app running, I'll have a music and I want to get rid of the music. I don't want to go in and pause it, and I want to swipe it away, it doesn't close. Or maybe you swipe it this way, it just gets it out of your way, but if you swipe this way, it force closes. That'd be a cool thing in the, settings. But I prefer the multitasking on the Galaxy Nexus by quite a large margin. So multitasking is better here. Now the next big thing where the iPhone is going to crush the Galaxy Nexus is the camera. We have both of the cameras here. The camera interface is better on the Galaxy Nexus, but the camera shots are much better on the iPhone. And when I say much better, I mean much, much better. Macro is better, quality is better. Oh, it's saving HDR. Quality is better. You can still take pictures nearly as fast. I find the shutter lag on the iPhone 4S almost non-existent. It's quite fast. The Galaxy Nexus is also very fast though. Oh wait, we can't hear it. Galaxy Nexus is faster, but the iPhone takes far superior pictures. You have a lot more settings on the Android version. Still though, higher megapixel rating over here, both video and picture capture is far superior. So if you're planning on using your device as just taking tons of pictures on it, the iPhone 4S is going to be your hands down winner. It is a much better device in terms of picture taking. So now, the final thing you have to think about when you're getting the device is, do you like the actual operating system, using it day in, day out? Do you like the way that they work? And I really can't, in my opinion, I really like the way Ice Cream Sandwich works. Having the widgets, having the new folders, having the multitasking, having the quick search. These are all things that I think make Android a superior experience in comparison to just the grid of apps you have on the iPhone. Whoa. But it is really a personal preference in terms of those types of things. So you have to really decide for yourself. But I've done quite a bit of babbling over the last 10 minutes, but I narrow this down to 3 things. The 3 things are quite simple. What is more important for you? Is it to have the customizability of Android? Is it to have the ecosystem of the iPhone, which I still feel is stronger, especially in terms of applications. So do you want customizable? Do you want the ecosystem? Do you want to have a superior camera or a less superior camera? And in terms of screen size, where do you fall? Is this too big? Because in my opinion, the Galaxy Nexus has an incredible screen. We'll just play the On the Verge here. And it looks really, really good. You can just see that's playing there. And it just looks like an incredible screen. It is much brighter than the iPhone 4S screen, so that's another thing to worry about. Are you going to be watching a lot of YouTube? So, also the final thing, so I've said sort of 2-3 things now, but the final thing is, do you use Google? Do you use Gmail? If you are a Gmail person, you're going to have a far, far, far superior experience with the Gmail app on Android and the integrated widgets you get on Android. It's just so much more. It's just faster. It is better. Being able to use the YouTube experience using Google Calendar. All these sort of like, if you're a Google person that has like all their stuff in the cloud, you have to use Android. Android is a far superior experience. So to reiterate, better ecosystem, better integration with Apple services, better Google integration with Gmail, YouTube, those sorts of things. Better camera, not so good camera, in my opinion, better screen, bigger screen, better build quality in terms of hardware being solid with like the glass and the metal, whereas this is a little bit cheaper, but still feels quite solid. In my opinion, I'm going to be rocking a Galaxy Nexus for the next couple months. This is my daily driver for now. iPhone 4S is just not a big enough thing for me. So, Camper Titania, hope I've sort of like rounded some stuff out. I'd go for a Galaxy Nexus if you were me, but maybe the iPhone 4S is for you. See you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.